Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles and Kristin Hildabrand is going to join us today, and we're here at Mammoth Cave Transplants. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Well, what a sea of beautiful fall transplants.
Yes, isn't that right? It's
and
beautiful.
People are excited about gardening this year, but gardening's not over.
That's right. Gardening is never over. So there's still, plenty of time if you're thinking about a fall garden. And I feel like, people sometimes just get really tired after the summer garden because pest pressure goes up. There's just, it's so hot outside and they're done after the summer. But there's actually a second chance, a second wave, however you want to call that, of plants that you can plant in your garden and still have food really all the way to November, even longer depending on how you treat it.
Absolutely. Now, we're in some of those crops. Talk to us a little bit about what can I plant?
Yes, so mainly these crops are all considered cold crops or cool season vegetables. So they're going to take the cooler weather temperatures very, very well here in Kentucky. So the thing that you want to know when you're planting for your fall garden is that you want to consider what the average first fall frost is. Now, most of these cold crops will take, some light frost, and a lot of times people will say that light frost it makes those vegetables taste so much sweeter. Like carrots, whenever those carbs change over into sugars after we've had like a light frost, it tastes so good to them. So you do have that option in the fall that you don't have in the spring. So that's one advantage that you have to it. And then secondly, things just do better in the fall because the days are still warm, but Joanna, those nighttime temperatures are cool, so it's perfect growing environment for a lot of those vegetables.
And Kristin, a lot of people might say, it's mid-August. I might be too late on seeding something. What are my other options?
Yes, so it's really important whenever you're planting for your fall harvest is that you look for days to maturity. So, things that might be 80 to 90 days, you might want to look for varieties that have a shorter, days to harvest. So, especially for those, later gardens like what our fall gardens would be, you would want to select some of those. And you can find that really easily if you're starting from seed. You can find those days that's listed on the seeds, or maybe you just want to shop somewhere that already has them started. Actually, certain vegetables don't do well from seed. They're better as a transplant. And those would be things like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, things like that would be much better as a transplant. So it's kind of one of those things that you want to think about depending on what you want to grow.
And when we think about our lettuces and things like that, they're easy to start from seed, but if you're a new gardener and maybe a little intimidated by that, Janet has some transplants here that you can buy and already almost have like a ready-made garden for you started.
Exactly. So that might be an option you want to consider because lettuces really don't take, depending on the variety, you can have anywhere from 30 to 50, 60 days, and you can kind of just harvest of what you want. So that might be something that you want to start. Salad greens work so easy in containers, so if you don't have a huge vegetable garden, maybe for raised beds or a container garden, that would be absolutely perfect.
Now, when we're fall gardening, though, we still need to pay attention to fertilizer and water and those type of things, just like we have to do in the summer, right?
Absolutely. So whenever you're first getting started, especially with a lot of the cold season type vegetables, it's going to be really hot in the beginning, so you want to make sure you're providing plenty of water to those plants because you don't want them to dry out, especially if you are starting from seed. That's very, very important that you provide plenty of moisture, and it's always just really good to feel around the root system or the top layer around your soil to see if it does need any kind of moisture there. And then two, fertilizer based on the recommended amount. You want to provide that. And then also two, mulch would be very, very helpful to help keep weed pressure down because when you first start, you will have a little bit of weed pressure, but then as you go through the fall, it'll get easier for you.
Okay, Kristin, so we have plenty of information if people have questions about this at the Extension office.
We certainly do. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you can contact your local Extension office and we'd be happy to help you.
All right. Well, thanks, Kristin. If you have any questions about starting your fall garden or maybe have some questions about the days to harvest, make sure to contact your local Extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.